Wellness begins where play, pleasure, and the parasympathetic meet. You were born to be you, and you were born to be well. Your body is always trying to find its way back to health. Now, here's the host of Your Healing Playground with Dr. Tina Coopersmith.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. If you are listening to me, we are on Your Healing Playground. I am your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith, and we are on the Inspired Choices Network. And today I have with me Lori Love. She's my guest, and I'm so excited to interview her. We are talking energy, pleasure, and power, all about the erotic blueprints with Lori. And let me tell you, sexuality, we are erotic beings, folks, and yet nobody teaches us about sexuality and eroticism. Eroticism, the word comes from love, and there's just so much about our erotic being and our erotic power and our erotic love and energy that is so critical. And it's barely taught, deeply misunderstood, and so often framed through fear. So we are here today with Lori Love. She's a coach, an erotic blueprint coach, and we are going to explore how pleasure and the blueprints are healing, my friends. Healing, sexuality. I like to say it remembers us home because childhood somehow dismembers us away from who we really are, which is sexual, erotic beings, loving ourselves, loving life, curious, fascinating with all of it. So we're going to talk today with Lori all about the blueprints to help us understand better our nervous systems, our energy, and how we either raise our energy or drain our energy. And it's so critical. So Lori, welcome to my podcast. And thank you for joining me, waking up early on this Monday morning of a holiday week. A lot of people are off. There's so many people that take 2 weeks off, and I just love that. And I want a life like that, but I don't have it yet. So anyway, tell me, Lori, the erotic blueprints. Did you know about them as a child, or when did you come into contact with these erotic blueprints?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be here, Tina. And I wish I knew about these erotic blueprints when I was a child.
Yeah.
Oh my
Tell me
gosh,
about
it
it.
would have changed my life so much. I found the erotic blueprints like in my 30s.
Mhm.
I had been working with Jaya, who's the founder of the erotic blueprints. My partner and I had been working with her. And when she came out with these, and I realized what my primary and my secondary blueprints were and what my partner's primary blueprint was. Oh my gosh, it made all the difference in the world. It made so much sense. And so I've been studying these. I've been practicing with them in my life. I've been acknowledging these different parts of myself for over 15 years. And really it has changed my life. It has transformed me. Hence the reason why I became an erotic blueprint coach, and I'm a love and life coach now.
I love it. And I'm actually jealous just listening to you because 15 years in this world, like for me it's 5, right? And I'm older than you. So I literally have little envy of like, oh wow, and you got to work with Jaya herself, right? Like how cool was that? I've worked with her in little, snippets, but she's not really doing this work at the same level as so tell me how you ended up to find her and what was going on in your life. You're in your 30s, you're with your partner already. How did you even discover Jaya? And why did you reach out to her? And you were probably potentially, if I think 15 years, you were probably part of her um her discovery of the blueprints herself, right? Like she
Yes.
didn't really describe them 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm
Mhm.
really excited to hear about you were like the guinea pig, the experimenter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as we were talking about, like when we're kids, like there's nobody to really talk to about sex. It's
Yeah.
like when we go to
You
our,
think?
like, yeah, right. It's like, oh, we go to school and we talk to our friends, and it's usually like information that's been passed down by other brothers or sisters or parents. Like there's never really anybody that we can go and ask serious questions to, or that's really open about talking about sex. Sex education, like
Non-existent.
is yeah, it's abstinence, right? And it's not specific and it's very general terms, and you're kind of left confused and like, what is this? And what am I
Yeah.
talking? What are they saying? And so um, in growing up that way, I didn't really have a lot of girlfriends to talk to about sex. And so I found myself in my relationship. I'd been with my partner for about 7 years. And, the honeymoon phase, the first couple of years, like we were having all this hot sex and I felt really juicy and aroused and, really in love with him. And so our relationship progressed. And as our relationship progressed, I realized like, okay, sex became less and less fulfilling for me. And it became more performative or more people pleasing, or like it was less about what I didn't even really know what I wanted to,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
I wasn't educated on like all the possibilities of what our bodies can do. It was like I kind of was trained to see or be a certain way, or what I thought I wanted or what I thought I should be to please my partner and to please myself. So I just kind of felt like I was going through the motions,
Yeah.
and it was like insanity. I was like beating my head against the wall. Why am I not having these mind-blowing orgasms like other
Yeah.
people are?
Can we stop for just 30 seconds and ask the audience? Obviously, we're not going to hear their answer, but when Harry met Sally, right? Like, I want what she's having. How many of us have watched a movie and went, wait, what's that? Like, I want that. And like, how do I get that? What's wrong with me? How am I broken? There must be something bigger, better. Everybody's talking about it, and I'm not getting that.
100%. Absolutely. Yep. So I was working with this woman and she was like, "Oh, I'm doing this sexological body work." And I was like, "What is that?" And as she was very open about talking about sexuality. And so her openness in talking about it allowed me to feel open about it. And so I in these conversations I was like, I'm really struggling with my partner. Like I really, really love him and we're best friends and like the sex was good, but now it's not. And like I'm seriously considering leaving him because I need a better sexual partner. Like this is not
Mhm.
working for me. And she was like, "Oh, have you ever heard of this woman, Jaya? I have this friend. I'm doing this sexological body work, with her
Right.
and at this training." And I was like, "What?" Like all of this was like totally foreign concepts, huh?
Yeah.
There are
Right.
people who are trained and like hands-on and like conceptual, like they're sex experts, really? And so she introduced me to Jaya, and
Hmm.
immediately my partner and I started working with her. And at that time, she hadn't come up with the erotic blueprints yet. And so we were really talking about polarity in those
Right.
days. And polarity is a big part of,
Yeah.
relationships. Um, and so our polarity, we were very like
Hold
50.
on, I want to stop for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You and I know what polarity is. I
Hmm.
don't know how much our audience knows about polarity.
Yeah.
So, why don't you describe for us a little bit about polarity? Masculine, feminine, good, bad, sun, moon, but let's have Lori describe it for us.
Sure. Yeah. So polarity, like in my world, my partner and we're both like very 50-50, both like professionally minded. We're both accountants. And so we both had these careers. I literally wore pants to work every single day. I was in a male profession, like where and I'm fortunate to be in this profession where women are highly respected, but there's no really room for the femininity, for like skirts and heels and looking pretty and those feminine qualities, right? It was like, okay, masculine
Accountant,
driven.
when I was talking about the blueprints to folks of mine, and I was going to talk to colleges, right? And it was about, if you know your blueprint, you might be able to choose the career that's going to give you pleasure day to day, right? And so when I was playing with it, because they didn't know anything about the blueprints, and I was describing, I'm like if you're a sensual, you want to be in a restaurant or a sommelier, or or a
Interior
fashion designer,
decorator.
and accountants, lawyers, um, doctors, like very sexual blueprint,
Yep.
like the cut and dry. So yeah, I love that you noticed that you were
Yeah.
in a career that was very sexual blueprint.
Very sexual blueprint. And so like, and we're contributing like 50-50 to our relationship. And so there wasn't really any room for a lot of femininity,
Yeah.
and I wasn't really bringing that in because I'd come home and I'd be stressed out. I'd be tired. I I've been operating in a male dominated world for so long that, being feminine didn't feel very comfortable to me. Plus,
Yeah.
there's also the fear of, being a woman that, oh, if I'm too attractive, I'll get unwanted attention,
Yeah.
And so we play small. We don't stand out, it's like a self-protection thing. So yeah, so we were playing with that of like we're
Mhm.
too similar. And when things are too similar, there isn't that like dynamic of like the push and the pull and the longing and the anticipation and the tease. There isn't that playfulness. It's just kind of like
Yeah,
going through
the
the motions.
polarity is a magnetic attraction, and there's an energy flow. Think about a magnet and the poles of positive and negative, and the I'm thinking, what's that game that we have with you play, oh my God, as a kid, you played with these iron filings and you could draw with them.
Yeah, like an etch-a-sketch.
It was Etch a
That was
Sketch, but there was also this, I could picture like drawing a head. It was,
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
had like a magnet and it moved stuff.
yeah.
And yeah, it was like Etch a Sketch, but flow and connection and the people say you're attracted to your opposite, right? And you may or
Mhm.
may not be attracted to your opposite in all things, but there is this general complementarity of, if I'm strong, I might want to hang out with someone who is softer. I don't even want to use the word weaker, but
Yeah.
softer. If I'm masculine, I want to hang with a feminine. If I'm really big, I might be attracted to someone who's small, right? There is this chemistry of attraction which goes along with polarities. Um, and so I just wanted to tease that out for folks. Let's go back to Lori's story with the polarity, but I want people to understand when we're talking about polarity. And you know what? It is actually a good time to take a little bit of a break. So let's take a break on that. I want you to think on this break, perhaps, about where in your life you notice polarities: good, bad, tall, strong, weak, feminine, masculine, doing, being. Those are all polarities. And we'll come right back to dive so much deeper into the erotic blueprints with Lori Love. And we're going to talk about the superpowers and the shadows and how it affects relationships with yourself and your partners. So, you're listening to Your Healing Playground. I am
Your
Dr. Tina
Healing Playground
Koopersmith.
is the space where science, spirit, and sensation dance together. Your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith, physician, coach, healer, and play advocate, returns weekly to remind you that healing isn't just about pills and protocols. Western medicine is just one of many healing modalities. True wellness is about energy, emotion, pleasure, and play. On this show, Dr. Tina explores the playground of your body, mind, heart, and soul. From neuroscience to sensuality, from root chakra to real talk. She'll share tools, stories, and soulful strategies to shift you out of fear and back into joy. Because if you're alive and breathing, your story is still unwritten, and you deserve to write it with love. Together, you'll learn to breathe, feel, and play your way back to wellness, because you are your best healer.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is your healing playground with Dr. Tina Coopersmith. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to info@womensreproduction.com. Now, back to our program.
Welcome back, my friends, all you listeners out there. You are listening to Your Healing Playground. I am your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith, your witchy doctor and change advocate. We are on the Inspired Choices Network, where we inspire people to live their best, most fulfilling lives. Today, I have with me guest Lori Love, an erotic blueprint coach who has gone deep into the erotic blueprints for over 15 years. She is literally an expert, and we are going to talk so much more, going deep into how the erotic blueprints can help you heal yourself, heal your relationship, help you choose your career, how it can just make your life more fulfilling and have you be more of who you are. Because that, my friends, is what we're all aiming for. So Lori, it's been, you said, over a 15-year journey with the erotic blueprints, and your relationship was at a low end, and you're still with your man now. So tell us more about how this healing through the blueprints works. What happened?
So we took the quiz, and I realized that I'm highly energetic, I'm highly sensual, and I have a lot of kinky in me. And sexual blueprint and shapeshifter blueprints were actually my lowest scores in the quiz. My partner took the quiz. His highest was sexual, which did not surprise me at all. His next was sensual, and his kinky was the lowest. Kinky and energetic were the lowest blueprints in his stack.
Yeah.
So talking about opposites attracting.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if you could get more opposite. And so all these years of, having sex in the sexual blueprint, and it really being so focused on genitals and orgasms and all of that, really being awoken to that there's energetic play that's possible, that there's sensuality that feels really, really good, and that there's like kinky stuff that psychologically is really fun and playful and creative.
Yeah.
And so like we all have these blueprints, we all have these parts of us. It's just a matter of like what volume is dialed up the highest in this moment or in this day or in this part of our life,
I want to explain to my audience, as a physician, when I came to this work, I realized 100%, first of all, I was living in the sexual blueprint too, right? And I was healing in the sexual blueprint because I was healing the body, right? But we have a mind, we have emotions, that's our heart, we have a physical body, and we connect all of our parts to ourselves and to others and to the universe. And that is the energy body. And all four make up the human being and doing, and the body is one small part. And so I invite you, when Lori says we have it all, we do. It's just like having a fingerprint, and your nervous system has its own unique fingerprint of how you go and exist in the world, what's strongest, what needs to be fueled, right? So Lori, explain quickly about the blueprint so people can understand. Maybe if they hear it from you, they will see themselves in you. And again, let's talk a little bit about the shadows too.
So starting with the energetic blueprint is all about space and anticipation and tease. Like we have energy running through our bodies, right? And energy is all around us. The energetic blueprint is very sensitive to that. And so like something about the energetic is that they don't necessarily need to be touched in order to receive pleasure. And that's one of their superpowers. Just by having hands like hovering over our bodies, oh my gosh, it can be exquisite. And
Yeah.
especially for people who are dealing with pain, like chronic pain, touch on the physical body might be way too much. And so still being able to connect in a way that feels really soothing and really gentle, just simply hovering is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eye gazing.
Oh, eye gazing is powerful. Oh yeah. It's like that moment right before, like when you meet somebody and you feel the electricity in the room and you have that magical connection and you make that eye contact and you feel that anticipation, you feel that longing, that's the energetic blueprint. And that's what we're talking about. And one of the things about like a shadow of the energetic blueprint is that being touched too fast or too soon can totally shut them down. So what that looked like with my partner and I talked about things being very genital focused. So his way of initiating sex is like grab my breast, grab my yoni, grab
Been
my
there,
butt,
done that.
right? And it's like, okay, that's how you initiate. That's how a sexual blueprint initiates. Well, an energetic blueprint's like, hey, wait a second, I wasn't quite ready for that.
Yeah.
I need a little bit more time and space. And so, in being able to heal, in order for in healing that part of my relationship with my partner where he would continually shut me down by doing that, I was now given a language of like, hey, would you hover your hands over my heart? Would you hover your hands over my breasts so I can like get attuned to your energy and then be able to like consensually choose, do I want you to touch me or do I want you to stay there? Hover over my yoni, like give her a little bit of warning,
Yeah.
So practicing that, having the language to be able to
having the language and the permission to speak and the permission that two nervous systems are coming together sexually and they're different. And it's okay to be different. It's not a one way, this is how it's done. Right? We all go through life sometimes and this is, I even, this is how medicine is done. Well, not when you're in my office, right? This is how accounting is done. Well, there might be creative ways to move your money.
Oh, most
Right?
definitely. Money is
Right?
energy. We send money through, electronic payment systems. Like we
Right.
don't
Like
use
who
it in our
came up
hands
with that,
anymore.
right?
It's all
The,
energetic.
right. And so having the permission to say, hey, your body's different than my body, and I don't know what your body wants. Can you tell me what your body wants? And so many of us were not trained to know what our body wants.
Right. Absolutely.
So, yeah. So I
Yeah.
love the fact that you got the language and the permission to use your voice
Yeah.
in the bedroom.
And I have a really awesome story that I love to share. As I was saying, my partner, energetic and kinky were his lowest blueprints, right? And so when we first heard about this, like he was like energy, like energetic blueprint, like he kind of poo-pooed it,
Yeah.
And it
Nobody
really
can, they
hurt
can't see it, so they don't understand it.
exactly. And so it really hurt my feelings because I was like, you don't see me. Like I'm telling you, I'm energetic and you don't believe me, And so there were practices that we did for home play. And one of these practices was just a 15-minute container. And the practice was for me to ask for what it was that I wanted. And so my partner willingly participated in this practice. We set a timer and I said, I would just love for you to hover your hands over my heart. And he was like, why? Like, why would you want me to do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I'm not even touching you. And I was like, could you please try? Like, and so he's like, okay, we're practicing, we're expanding, right? And so he hovers his hands over my heart. And I could feel his energy like kind of shift, and I could feel him really like focusing on his hands, and I could feel him focusing on me. I could feel his energy from going from like, why am I doing this? And da 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 da, and all the brain power to like, okay, I'm doing this now, and being
Right.
really, really present with me. And when I felt that, it felt so good that I started crying. Tears started streaming out of my face.
Right.
And he was like, what's going on? Like, he was really, really shocked at my reaction. And I was like, I finally feel like I'm receiving what it is that I wanted. Like, I'm
Yeah.
finally feeling that you see me. And he was like, oh, I get it now. That was a big light bulb moment, because he could see it in my body. He could see the visceral reaction. He could see the tears. He could
Oh,
see
so
the relief
beautiful.
in my body. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have I've had similar experiences physically, but also like I took these college kids in a workshop where I put an inside circle and an outside circle. And, Jaya has done this exercise with me, and I had them look in each other's eyes. Imagine their first day of school. Imagine the first day of college. Imagine they just failed a test. Imagine, and the amount, like afterwards, and I was surprised because, I didn't know, like, am I making a dent in these kids? And they came up to me later, like, I've never experienced anything like that before. And it was so interesting. And I got more of the comments from the men.
Yeah. That's transmission without words is
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
So beautiful that you experienced that, and that he saw it, and that he felt it.
And
Right?
that was one of the biggest steps in like the healing of our relationship. That made me trust him more, which then let my nervous system relax, and then I could grow and expand. I could be more open instead of being closed off.
I want people to hear that when you trust in relationship, whether it's with your boss, whether it's with your parents, whether it's in a sexual relationship, you move from sympathetic, on guard, fight, flight, survival mode to like, oh, life is for me, and we can heal. And so we need to talk more about the sensual, the kinky, and the conversation. And it is, unfortunately, time goes so fast, so relative, but it's time for us to take a quick break. And we're going to come back and talk about the other blueprints, communication, and again, the shadows. You are listening to Your Healing Playground. I am your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith. You can find me at Dr. Tina Plays. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. Please, please share this with friends. We want more and more people to learn about health and wellness and healing in non-traditional ways. So subscribe and leave us a review. Please, please, please. Let's take our second break. Come right back.
Your Healing Playground is the space where science, spirit, and sensation dance together. Your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith, physician, coach, healer, and play advocate, returns weekly to remind you that healing isn't just about pills and protocols. Western medicine is just one of many healing modalities. True wellness is about energy, emotion, pleasure, and play. On this show, Dr. Tina explores the playground of your body, mind, heart, and soul. From neuroscience to sensuality, from root chakra to real talk. She'll share tools, stories, and soulful strategies to shift you out of fear and back into joy. Because if you're alive and breathing, your story is still unwritten, and you deserve to write it with love. Together, you'll learn to breathe, feel, and play your way back to wellness, because you are your best healer.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Your Healing Playground with Dr. Tina Coopersmith. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to info@womensreproduction.com. Now, back to our program.
Welcome back, everybody. Again, you are listening to Your Healing Playground. I am your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith. We are on the Inspired Choices Network, and I have with me Lori Love today, an erotic blueprint expert, and we are talking about remembering yourself home, learning about your personal blueprint, your nervous system, how it feels pleasure, and how it prevents the brakes on pleasure that keep you stuck in that survival mode. So, Lori, please share with my audience. We've talked a little bit about the energetic, anticipation, longing, tease, and the short circuiting if they get touched way too soon. We have a sensual blueprint, sexual, kinky, and shapeshifter. Let us know their superpowers and really important, those breaks, those shadows, right? The energetic can't be touched too soon. Really, really critical. Nonverbal communication is critical. Tell my listeners all about the sensual, the sensual, the sexual, the kinky, and that shapeshifter, and especially those shadows, because they may see themselves in the shadow as much as in the superpowers.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like the superpowers are like the things that turn you on and light you up, and the things that you're really great at and that you're tapped into. And like the shadow parts are the things that like literally have your foot on the brake. Like you're trying so hard to, like have this amazing sex life and this amazing life, but there's something that's stopping you and blocking you. And these by being able to identify the shadows that you have in each blueprint, that's where the healing happens. And that's where like you get the momentum. You see it and you know what you need to, you've identified it, and now you can start slowly taking steps in order to integrate these parts. These parts are usually like what's been cast aside, lost, forgotten, shamed, and by bringing them into the light and seeing them, we integrate them, which helps us feel safe, like we were talking about before the break, that safety and regulating our nervous system, which is so key, because without safety, you can't have a good sex life. Yeah. Like you really can't. Like it's meant to be enjoyed. And if we're scared and we're tense, like we're going to be fighting it, the whole time. And so the sensual blueprint is really all about the senses, the 5 senses. So sight, smell, taste, touch, sound. Sensual blueprint loves for their world to be rich in all of these things. So yummy food and great music and beautiful ambiance and lovely smelling things and being in all of that energy. It's really all about the journey and not the destination for a sensual blueprint. So like I found that when I was having sex, like, yeah, we were trying to get to the orgasm, but there was a big part of me that was like, I'm just having fun here. Like, I don't need to go anywhere, do anything. I don't even need to have an orgasm because I'm just enjoying my body. Like, there's so much pleasure that I'm feeling right now, but like being in that sexual blueprint, like, no, but I need that thing and I want that thing and I'm trying to get it. And so, really being able to like heal that part of myself that was like getting in my, like, I was too in my head, and I wasn't in my body enough. I was too like results focused. And so
I was told I was broken, because for me to trust another, to allow myself to finish I had a lot of shadows. I think I had all the shadows, right? And I was told, go fix yourself.
Yeah.
It's your problem. Go fix yourself.
I felt
Like,
very,
for years. What's
yeah,
wrong with me?
yeah. And I felt very broken because I wasn't having the orgasms. And so I started telling myself it's okay that I don't have them because
Right.
I'm enjoying all of this. That's
Mhm.
true. And I was still very like, but wait, but isn't there more?
Yeah.
So I
Right.
very much like got on this path to fix myself
Yeah.
and, see what was wrong with me. And like what I've realized is that we aren't broken, we don't need fixing, and it's just a matter of like having this information and integrating these parts.
I love that. Integrating the parts. So tell me so we all live with the sexual blueprint, right? We watch it everywhere on TV of like, they come together and then they finish, right? And like, what's their, tell our audience, what's their shadow?
Yeah, so like the shadow of the sexual blueprint is that like it has to end in orgasm, that like we're not successful unless both people have an orgasm,
Right.
right? And that's what we've been taught because we ultimately we all want to come together sexually, right? Like the sexual blueprint loves sex, loves nudity, loves nakedness. Like it's really turned on by that and it's hot and they're easy. Let me tell you, my man is so easy. I don't need to buy him any gifts. I don't need to figure it out. I know that for his birthday, I know exactly what he wants. Me dressing up in some lingerie and being hot and juicy. Same thing for Christmas. Same thing for New Year's. Like any special occasion, right? If I'm
Ever see those? There's a picture of like women have like 100 buttons
yeah,
and men have one, right? And it's not male female, folks.
no,
It's the
it's not.
sexual blueprint
Yep,
versus all the other blueprints.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
And
so,
women can be sexual blueprints.
oh, most definitely.
100%.
Most definitely. And I think that like my whole life, I secretly wanted to be a sexual blueprint. I wanted my
Right.
primary blueprint to be sexual because they're so easy, so fun. There's so much joy in it. Like there's unabashed, pleasure, right?
Yeah.
They're open and available and ready to go. And so I wanted to be like that. And so I tried really hard to be like that. But I realized that I was overriding my boundaries and
Yeah.
I wasn't asking really for what I wanted. And when things weren't working for me, I kept trying to do it that way instead of finding a different way,
Right.
Yeah.
There's a
And
lot of
so,
ways up the mountain, folks. There are a lot of
oh,
hiking trails.
and that's what these blueprints show us. And
Right.
yeah.
So tell us about the kinky, because people hear the word kink and they run the other way.
Yeah, so I love the kinky blueprint. So there's psychological kink and then there's sensation-based kink. And the psychological kink is all about like the story and the scenario, right? And then the sensation-based is all about like the sensation. So it could be pain and pleasure. We have like I was listening to somebody talk about how all of our, and you can talk about this, Tina, like our brains are all wired differently. And so some people like actually receive a lot of pleasure through pain. And there's
It's
like this
actually the
whole,
same part of the brain that lights up when they do functional MRIs. Whether you're having an orgasm, you're in severe pain, the same part of the body is lighting up. So existential kink, which is another whole world you could go by, right, is if you are feeling pain psychologically, physically, sensation wise, whatever it is, underneath that, where are you getting pleasure? Because your brain is actually lighting up in the same spot that it would light up if you have pleasure. And so that's a kink in and of itself of
yeah,
what are you benefiting from, feeling pleasure from if you're living in chronic pain? There's something your body likes
mhm.
about staying in that box. So really interesting to peel that away.
Yeah. And there's something also about like intense sensation
Yeah.
can be very pleasurable. Like it's almost like putting your feet in shoes that are too tight, the sensation of like taking your feet out of them and the relief and the
It's
release.
It's
So there's
for people who have trouble getting out of their head, and this is very high for me. I learned that that deep, intense sensation forces me into my body and out of story. And I think for me, I used to, drink alcohol. And what it was I was trying to get out of my head and back in my body. But you're actually not in your body when you're drunk. And so being so sober is so much more pleasurable to feel all the sensations, but I didn't know how to turn my mind off. And so the kinky stuff or the intense sensations can pull me back into my body.
Because the kinky blueprint is endlessly creative. So it gives, like, I find that it gives my mind something to do. Instead of my mind running away with distracting thoughts, which is like a
Yeah.
sensual shadow, I can give it a job. I can say, focus on this, focus on this story, focus on this scenario,
Yeah.
focus on this energy, bring this play in, and it helps me be in my body.
Love it. What's the shadow for the kink?
Well, with some of the shadows for the kinky blueprint is that there's a lot of shame
Yeah.
because a lot, the kinky blueprint is all about what's taboo, and it's really all about what is taboo to you specifically. Everybody has kinks, and everybody might have different kinks. We think of it's like an entire spectrum. So it could be a simple kink of like premarital sex, right? And then it could be, on the other end, like all the whips and chains and, and intense sensation. There's a whole range of all kinds of things. And so a lot of times with the kinky blueprint, we find something that really turns us on and that is kind of naughty and it's fun. But we've heard from society, you're not supposed to think that way. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to want that. Oh, that's gross. Oh, that's, there's so much judgment, right, around it. Yeah. And so we tend to like keep it secret. We hide it, we pretend, we push it away, or we see, so there's a lot of shame wrapped up in that. And I find that with
Nope, you finish your thought.
I just find that with the kinky blueprint, when you have another kinky person to talk to, there is so much safety and like I keep talking about safety and relief. Like when you have another kinky person that celebrates your kinks, there is so much healing that happens in a kinky container. And that kinky container can literally just look like a 15-minute conversation with me and in sharing something that you've never shared before, and me keeping it safe and secret and celebrating you and seeing you in that.
I love that. Love that. And 100%, it's the safety of also just being the kinks have perfected the art of conversing about what they like and don't like. And that is healing for every human to be able to voice, I like this and not that, and this and not that, do this and not that, and be seen and heard. We all want to be on this planet to be seen, heard, counted, and matter, right? And to be able to be verbal about it, not just nonverbal, and have someone say, oh, I heard you, is so reassuring for the nervous system. And quick before our last break, shapeshifter, what's that?
Shapeshifter loves it all and wants more of it. These are the people who have been told you're too much, you're too complicated, I can't figure you out. And like their superpowers are that they love to play in all the different blueprints. And like they're like insatiable. Like there's so much pleasure to be had because more. It's so much fun. And some of the shadows of the shapeshifter blueprint is like they can be like really confused. Oh my God, something that worked yesterday isn't working for me today. And, there can be a lot of like, oh, what's wrong with me? Because, I don't operate in the same way that everybody else does, or I'm starving because my partner cannot feed me because they don't know how, or they don't have the capacity. So.
Yeah. So true. So true. From one shapeshifter, like, and shapeshifter where my highest are energetic and kink, And I was living in the box of the sexual: work, home, relationship, and and not knowing yourself, not knowing yourself. So we're going to take our last little time out. Go chat with yourself about energetic, sensual, sexual, kinky, and shapeshifter. Did you hear yourself in your turn ons and your shadows? We're taking our last little, we'll be right back. You are listening to Your Healing Playground. I am your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith. All I want is for you to heal you and be more you. And that's why I'm here every week. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. We are here with Lori Love. You can find her at www.lorilove.org. That's .org, not .com. Lori Love.
Orgasm.
I love it. Of course. Of course. Okay, come right back. We are not yet finished. We got more of this journey.
Your Healing Playground is the space where science, spirit, and sensation dance together. Your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith, physician, coach, healer, and play advocate, returns weekly to remind you that healing isn't just about pills and protocols. Western medicine is just one of many healing modalities. True wellness is about energy, emotion, pleasure, and play. On this show, Dr. Tina explores the playground of your body, mind, heart, and soul. From neuroscience to sensuality, from root chakra to real talk. She'll share tools, stories, and soulful strategies to shift you out of fear and back into joy. Because if you're alive and breathing, your story is still unwritten, and you deserve to write it with love. Together, you'll learn to breathe, feel, and play your way back to wellness, because you are your best healer. This is Your Healing Playground with Dr. Tina Coopersmith. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to info@womensreproduction.com. Now, back to our program.
Welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Your Healing Playground. I am Dr. Tina Coopersmith, again, witchy doctor, change advocate. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. We are here today with Lori Love from lorilove.org. Just think orgasm to remember. And she is an erotic blueprint coach and expert. And what I really want her to touch on in our last few minutes together is how this not only helped her understand herself, but my friends, it transformed a relationship. And how beautiful that both partners grew and changed together. This is not about saying, I am different than you, so we need to split up. This is saying, I am different from you. Let's learn how to live together and be better and have hotter sex. Like, oh my gosh, right? Like, I want what she's having, right? So tell our audience about the connection and how you now negotiate sexual relations and journeys and all that stuff, all the juicy stuff.
Yeah, now that my partner and I have this common language, it's so much easier to communicate what my wants and my needs and desires are. And because we have this framework of the erotic blueprints, I can be like, hey, my kinky blueprint really wants this. And my sexual blueprint really wants this. And my sexual, blueprint, my sensual blueprint, like really needs this right now. And learning how to have like every single blueprint likes to be touched in in different ways. They like different words to be spoken to them. They have different forms of communication. I like to also call the love languages, like they've been lovingly referred to, the erotic blueprints have lovingly been referred to like the love languages, but for sex and intimacy. And I love that like comparison and that contrast because it's so true. When we like anytime that we learn about what it is that like can explain us more so that we can explain ourselves, or we can embody ourselves in a truer, more authentic way to our partners, it really trickles out and ripples in our entire life. Because if I'm more confident in the bedroom, I'm more confident in life. I'm more confident in business. I'm more confident, like standing up for myself in certain situations, and so having this, like by being able to like put ourselves first and our pleasure first and inviting more pleasure into our world, it makes us happier people. We're more satisfied. Like I have so much more capacity in my nervous system to like hold space for other people now, because I'm like, I went from having one foot out the door with my partner of like, you're doing everything wrong and I don't want to be with you anymore, to, oh, okay, well, let's try and see. And let's experiment and let's play and let's get curious about these new things that we never knew about because nobody ever talked about it. Let's play in the taboo. I mean, all of this was taboo for us because we don't talk about it. And so
Yeah. I want to invite the world in, because you said something that it's the love language for sex and intimacy. But my friends, it's even more than that. I said this at the beginning. We are sexual beings. We are energetic beings. And health and wellness is about balancing positive energy and having more energy to do life versus rumination and draining energy. And so it's improves your sexuality, but it improves your health, because when you can put more pleasure in, you have the capacity and the resiliency to handle all of life's struggles, and you are more aligned with your nervous system. So again, that trust factor that I am who I am. And it doesn't mean you can't modify and change and evolve. But my friends, we heal when we are in alignment. Dis-ease in the body. The word ease and dis-ease, we started with polarity. And I'm going to bring us home to remember ourselves. Language is so critical. We are whole beings, mind, body, heart, and spirit. Sexuality is a remembrance of mind, body, heart, and spirit, which is what wellness is. Wellness is ease in the body. Ease in the body. And sexuality, into me see, intimacy, see me as a whole being, is how we are well. Positive energy helps us be creative and live big, better, and fuller. Lori Love is our expert today on the erotic blueprints. I want you to reach out. I want you to learn about how to remember yourself home to wholeness, so that your nervous system can enjoy sexuality, but also your job, your family, your friends, the holidays, your family. Like, how much can we hold in pleasure instead of pain? And maybe pain is your pleasure, right? And can you love the pain of like, oh my God, I got to go to Christmas and have the pain of my aunt, like whatever it is, right? Can I hold my nervous system? Because it's my responsibility to hold myself. I can't rely on someone else. So, Lori, tell us one more time where people can find you in 30 seconds or less.
Yes, LoriLove.org, and I spell my name LaurieLove. And yeah, I invite you, ask yourself in every moment, what would make this moment even more pleasurable? And then
Love it.
do that.
Yes.
Whatever it is.
Love it. How can life be more pleasurable, more play?
If you felt something move today, a molecule, a mindset, or your mood, that's healing. Your body listens to your stories, your thoughts, your breath. So speak to yourself with kindness, play with curiosity, and let your nervous system know it's safe to rest. Dr. Tina returns Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, 8 Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Remember, pleasure is a